Okay, this is probably one of the areas that I am the most advanced in because I had to do it so much last year. There was people left and right attacking me with the solar eclipse. I had over 70 hijackers. It was a nightmare, but I got to become an expert in this, and I'm still helping out my friends today, and I'm kind of the guy to go to when it comes to this. And so these are the ones that I can talk about that are pretty generally acceptable to get your competitors removed from the listings when they're doing something that's quite obviously counterfeiting your product. So we're going to get into those now. So these ones are when you don't have a trademark. And if you do have a trademark, go watch the other video on that. And then it's a very easy process to get them removed. So, but these ones, you have to go and do things a bit more like very to the book because Amazon doesn't want to, they have no idea. If there's no trademark in their eyes, anybody could sell it. It's not a brand, it's not nothing, but yeah, so these are the steps and the ways that you can go about getting these people removed, and then a little bit of the best actions of how to deal with a hijacker. All right, in this video, I'm going to show you guys how you can go about getting rid of a hijacker and how to deal with it if you do not have a trademark and brand registry. So just if you have brand registry, that's not enough, okay? You'll have detail page control, but you're not going to have the ability to do a trademark infringement unless you've started to file your trademark. And then there are ways to get them off if you have started to file your trademark, but it's a lot more difficult. And a video on that won't be coming out in the first version, but it'll be coming out later. So make sure to check that out when it does come out. But here's what you can do, all right? The overview of the methods are you do a cease and desist letter and you do a test buy. And then lastly, you get the buy box at all costs. So hopefully the cease and desist letter is enough. And from my experience, it works about 60% of the time, maybe 70, but there's always going to be those guys who are just doing this and kind of screwing you over and they don't care. They just have a bunch of fake accounts, fake identities, and they're just doing a numbers game, okay? So there's going to be the two types of hijackers, the ones that are just like sniping and like whatever, let me come in and they're there for an hour. And then there's the guys who are just, all right, this account, we're burning through this account. We're going to do whatever it takes. So the cease and desist letter is going to get rid of most of those who are just sniping or kind of seeing what they can get away with. And there's actually some people who just really don't know what they're doing. So we don't want to, we just want to let them know that they're breaking the rules, because even a lot of the times there's younger Amazon sellers, like I've had people on my listings, which are from the USA even, and they just didn't understand the concept that you can't just go on somebody else's listing and start to list it when you're not that brand. And especially when you don't have the same product, because I had a very dangerous product and somebody was listing on it. It wasn't safe, and they knew what they were doing, but then I caught them and they felt really bad, and they were, yeah, so they, I don't know if they just thought it was like, wow, look at how much money this guy's making, I can get in on it or whatnot. But anyways, let's use the cease and desist letter, and then there's the test buy, and then getting the buy box back. So we're going to talk about the cease and desist letter now. Okay, so here's a general cease and desist letter that we're going to send out to them. And essentially, like, let's say you were selling this Glad listing. So on the right hand side there, let's say we were looking at this, and obviously it wouldn't apply in this, but let's say this guy was a hijacker, okay, which he wouldn't be, because he's got a lot of seller ratings. And so essentially what we would do is find them on your listing page and then go to here, click on them, and to get to their account. Then what you're going to do is you're going to go to ask a question, and you're going to fill in the cease and desist letter. So we'd send ask a question and then an item for sale, and you'd write the subject, and then you'd have another question. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we can add an attachment. You could do this as a formal legal letter if you get your attorney to make one, or you could send your own attachment, which isn't like from a lawyer, but looks a little bit more official. And then you also get to put it in the text here. Okay, you guys, so here is the cease and desist letter. Now what we're going to do, I'll just go over it generally here, but everybody, you should probably be very careful about what you throw out there. Don't make any legal claims or false claims, because you're operating a business and you don't want to do something that makes you liable. So don't insist that Amazon will do something, because, and yet again, this is my personal advice, not legal advice, but do not insist that something will happen or whatnot, or make certain claims. But This is pretty definition. So, our company compliance office is sending you a cease and desist, having all items from our brand, from the site, and your seller account. And don't do this in the future for selling our brand. You are committing trademark infringement. They're not genuine and approved. You have 12 hours to remove this listing, or we will report you for trademark infringement. You're violating the Amazon terms of service, because some people aren't aware. So, we're notifying them this. Violating the terms of service results in permanent removal of selling privileges. So you might want to change that a little bit, but you want to get across the point that they're doing something that could potentially get their account taken away forever, so that you inform the uninformed, and also show the people that, hey, you're going to do this right away, and they should probably go try to steal from other people, which aren't going to be doing that. Rather than receive this notification having your account terminated, please remove all your listings of this brand. At this time, we respect your compliance. We're gonna check. So the overall thing here is, you're breaking the rules. Stop this within this time frame, or we will do this and you will get your account removed. And this will hopefully work. Put the link, the exact ASINs there. Put the link, so it's like very easy. It's very clear exactly, because guess what? They might be doing like hundreds. They might be hijacking hundreds or thousands. And so by doing this, you get that, and then just your name from the brand compliance. So do that, and then what you'll do is then you would send that to them. Ask a question, put it in there, contact there. Maybe you would put this as an attached document also, and then you would hit send email. Now, this is going to sell from your seller account email, so you have to decide if you want to do that from which account you want to do that from. But this is the overall strategy that you're going to use to get them off for using a cease and desist letter. Okay, so the next way is a test buy. All right, so be very careful with a test buy though, because if you do this and report it wrong, you can get your listing removed. This happened to one of my friends. So he essentially came to me for some help and was asking, what do I do with this situation? And I said, well, what you need to do is you need to do a test buy, and you also need to report infringement other ways. But anyways, he did a test buy, he got the product, and then guess what happened? He went in and reported that it was a counterfeit product. So instead of, saying that one seller was infringing, the Amazon team said, okay, this product is counterfeit. So all sellers get taken off, and the listing got closed. And this was his top selling listing. This cost him tens of thousands of dollars. And I was talking with him, and I guess I didn't make it clear enough. So I want to make it very clear now. When you're going to make a report with Amazon, say that it is only, warning only, that it is item not as met, that the item doesn't match the description page. Okay, so you're going to do this with test photos. You're going to do this with your order ID. So you actually have to get the product in your hands, but this takes a while. So the main goal is we want to originally get that cease and desist letter to just make them stop, because the test buy might take 3 weeks to get there. All right, and then if they don't respond to that cease and desist letter, guys, definitely do that test buy immediately. I would almost do a test buy right before the cease and desist letter, because every day matters. So do a test buy right away, do the cease and desist letter, and then once you don't hear back for that, do the test buy. All right, so then now we're going to want to keep the buy box at all costs, because you do not want your listing getting just hammered by all these negative reviews. So maybe you're going to lose extra sales by selling it at lower, but that might actually be a good thing, because you're going to get increased velocity now in most scenarios. And as long as you have a lot in stock, it's not going to be an issue. Whereas if you're kind of low on stock and it's going to be a while, maybe you let them keep the buy box, because the worst thing that could happen is you go out of stock, and then now all of a sudden they are just jacking the price up and just tearing the conversion on the ASIN. So that's what I suggest that people do. So if they're selling it seller fulfilled, it's going to take weeks to come in, but the benefit is you should be able to get the buy box not even below their price. So test around. It takes about 15-20 minutes to update the buy box. Go test with your pricing and see how high you can get it and still keep the buy box. And you got to stay on it like a hawk. And that's what I suggest that people do if you have a lot of stock. If you don't have much stock, you're gonna have to make the business decision. When am I gonna get in stock? But you might want to show like, hey, we're gonna bully you, and we're not gonna allow this to go out of stock. So we're not gonna let you bully us, and we're gonna go down on the price, and we're gonna submit legal claims or the trademark infringement and do a test buy. Well, you don't tell them you're going to do a test buy, but basically you want to show them, hey, you're not getting sales from us and you're going to get in trouble. You go mess with somebody else. And so by doing all of that, you're really going to get everything. So this is going to be now how you properly report a test buy, because if you do this wrong, your listing could get suspended, like I talked about earlier. So my one tip about getting the buy box when you have a hijacker and you've decided that, okay, it makes most sense to get the buy box back, try about $4 above and then go from there and see how it works, doing that 15 to 20 minute feedback loop, see if you get the buy box back. You want to get it as high as possible and to keep on that, okay? There's also repricing software if this is going to be a long process that you could have it automatically bid and debid. I've used those quite a bit with my retail arbitrage days, but yeah, you kind of have to tweak them a bit. I don't know if people really want me to make a video on that. I could comment below and I'll make a video on how you can automate all of that. So, but anyways, hope you enjoyed this.